Well, happy Sunday morning to everyone. It's the last Sunday in April. Join me, please stand if you care to. Affirmation Rock, here we go. I am a powerful, creative, spiritual being. I am a powerful, creative, spiritual being. I can create anything I want this life. The universe is on my side and I am loved. I am loved. You are a powerful, creative, spiritual being. You are a powerful, creative, spiritual being. You can create anything you want in this life. The universe is on our side and you are loved. Yes, you are loved. We are all powerful, creative, spiritual beings. Woo! We are all powerful, creative, spiritual beings. We can create anything we want this life. The universe is on our side and we are loved. We are loved. We all are loved. We are loved. One more time. We are loved. you.
Thank you. That was good. Good morning. I am Mark. Happy to be with you all here. Just curious, how many were raised Catholic? Raise your hand. Only a small number. Okay. All right. Doesn't matter. Completely irrelevant question. I said Protestant. Any Protestants in the house? One. Any Baptists in the house? How about New Thought people ready to expand their consciousness in the house? Let's be that together today. We start our time with a prayer, so join me in closing your eyes. If that's comfortable, opening your hands. As I begin by recognizing God is, there is a powerful presence and a beingness that is all of life. And back of it all is one power, one presence. Its nature is good. Its nature is good with no opposite. Its nature is joy that knows no sorrow. Its nature is life that knows no death. This presence and power had a brilliant idea, and it's called you. It formed and fashioned and created you out of its exact nature. And so as we know this and as we unify with this today, I affirm that we are blessed, that our being together creates a collective healing power that dissolves any thoughts of separation. I also ask the Holy Spirit to use our gathering this day to extend it beyond the walls and bring it into the consciousness of humanity as a blessing of love. We are blessed today. We are guided, and we're grateful for this. And so it is. Amen. And our host today is Julie.
Thanks, Mark. My name is Julie Myers, and like you said, I'm going to be your host today. I just want to start off by saying we had a euchre party on Friday night and had a great time. And you don't even know how to play it, Sandy. But everybody's welcome, and rumor has it that the next one's going to be a pizza party. So stay tuned, and we'll have a date for you. And come on out. It's really fun, good snacks, good people, and lots of smiles. Let's see here. Thanks to Brian for his wonderful music starting us off today. And let me just tell you a little bit about Unity. We're a non-denominational spiritual community anchored in loving acceptance. If you're here with us for the first time, as I know there are some people here that are here for the first time, welcome, whoever you are and wherever you are on life's spiritual journey. Just know that you're most welcome here. And I've asked Barb to light the Christ candle for us this morning. And as she does, please join me in the statement that should be on the slide. We light the Christ candle, remembering the Christ in us. Thanks, Barb. And please join me in speaking our mission statement. You'll see it on the slide. We embrace all people and honor all paths to God. We create a sacred space to raise the awareness and consciousness of the one Spirit in us all. We anchor ourselves in affirmative prayer, forgiveness, general sharing, and loving community in service to our spiritual awakening. And now our affirmation of faith. There is only one presence and one power as me and as the universe, God, the good, omnipotent. And now Brian's going to lead us in our congregational song.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. See you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. See you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you.
I also wanted to just say hi to all the people that are joining us online. So we love having you here. Hopefully, sometime you can come and join us in person. But for now, we're glad you're here. I'm going to read the daily word for Sunday, April 30th, 2023. I pause to appreciate life's simple blessings. Today, I give thanks for the simplest blessings, the small things that bring a smile to my lips and a warm heart, a warm feeling to my heart. A hug from a friend, a cuddle from a grandchild, or stroking the soft fur of a beloved pet fills my awareness with love. The sudden lift I get seeing a favorite person's handwriting in the mail, or the thrill of spotting a rainbow after a cleansing rain shower spark lasting happiness in my heart. These things and more remind me that true contentment is found in life's smallest moments, the everyday treasures that comprise daily life and draw me close to God. I focus on these simple blessings and grow in gratitude for my life's many gifts. And from Psalm 144:15, happy are the people to whom such blessings fall. Happy are the people whose God is the Lord. And now Mark will lead us in meditation.
All right, together we say to begin our meditation up on the screen, there is a silence into which the world cannot intrude. There is an ancient peace I carry in my heart and have not lost. There is a sense of holiness in me the thought of fear has never touched. I go there now. And so let us go there now as we close our eyes and really connect with the breath, taking nice, slow, deep, deep breaths, deeper than you've taken all day.
Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. The light in your heart. Just let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. The light in your heart.
So allow a smile to come to your face and allow that smile to float down into your heart. A happy heart brings you closer to God. Not because God requires it, but because it is a similar vibration. Joy is the vibration of God. Happiness is the experience in this world that can take you closest to that. So imagine your heart flowering open, shining with a smile, with an appreciation for all the beauty, an appreciation for all the forms of life and the beauty of God in it all. Smiling upon everyone's life, looking past their fears and their addictions and their uncertainties, seeing them shining in their spirit. Your heart, when you let it shine, heals other people. Your heart extends in a way that words never could. The smile on your heart is a healing power.
Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. The light in your heart, let it shine. Just let it shine, let it shine. The light in your heart.
Take a deep breath in. Imagine that light in your heart filling this room, connected with everyone else here, as we create one beautiful vibration. We welcome all the miracles that are within it. Take another deep breath. As we begin coming back to the room, take your time. Open your eyes whenever you're ready.
The splendor of a king, clothed in majesty. Let all the world rejoice, all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, and darkness tries to hide, and trembles at his voice, trembles at his voice. How great is our God, how great is our God, how great is our God. Age to age he stands, and time is in his hands, beginning and the end, beginning and the end. The Godhead 3 in 1, Father, Spirit, and Son, the Lion and the Lamb, Lion and the Lamb. How great is our God! Sing with me, how great is our God! And all will see how great is our God. Name above all names, worthy of our praise. is our God. You're the name above all names. You are worthy of our praise. In my heart we'll sing, how great is our God. How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. And all will see how great is our God. Sing it with me, how great is our God. 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 How great is our God.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. We're going to have to pay him an extra $1. That was a high song. I asked him to sing it. I didn't realize what we'd be putting him through. But you did it. I just want to clear up something about euchre on Friday night. Look, no matter what anybody says, I won. They're going to have scorecards and they're going to tell you differently. And it's fine. It's just their ego reacting. So we'll be humble and let them think it's true. No, it really was a fun time. We had a good time. So today I am beginning a series that I really love teaching about and talking about, which is prayer. And I think one of the reasons I really love it and appreciate it so much is because the evolution of it in my life has been it's a big arc of change from when I was little, and I was raised Catholic, so it was very rote prayers. We said the Our Father, we said the Hail Mary, we said, listen to this. I was probably 7 years old. This is what they made us say. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die. What does a 7-year-old do with that idea? Right? I don't think anyone was conscious enough to pause and think about those words. That was a scary idea. So my prayers were from a sense of fear. There was sort of this beseeching and this energy of, God, I hope I'm good enough. I hope I'm good enough. To this external white male guy, nothing against white males, but you're not the leading force today, if I may. And I'm one of them, sort of. Sort of. So it was under the patriarchal system is what I mean. It was this energy of control and fear. And this is what was pervasive throughout and remains pervasive throughout many religions. This idea that we've got to be good for something or someone's got to be bad, someone's excluded. It's the lie of separation. And when the lie of separation gets into an organization, you've got to really bend yourself like a pretzel to make it make sense. And even when you do, it still doesn't make sense. It's like the emperor and his clothes. You know inside it doesn't make sense, but everyone else is acting like they get it. So just get it and just pretend. Well, we're going to blow all that up in this month. Because prayer is so much more than that. Prayer really is. And when I started attending Unity, in my teen years where I grew up, and then in Chicago after college, we started learning affirmative prayer. And it was a very refreshing idea about a way to pray. Now, I went from Unity, as most of you know, to Science of Mind, which is the sister New Thought organization in the world, in my opinion. And I'll be very blunt about this. I think Science of Mind teaches prayer way better than Unity. It's just one of their strengths. Unity has wonderful strengths about them that Science of Mind doesn't have. But what Science of Mind does have is a high commitment to its prayer formula and how it works. And Science of Mind, in my experience, made prayer art and science combined. And that's when you've got something powerful. When you get the formula in back of it, and then you learn to use the formula artistically with your heart, with your passion, with your energy. Isn't that like music? You learn the structure of music so that you can let music be played and felt and move you. That's how I've come to know prayer. And the biggest shift for me was the practice of moving from an external punishing deity to an internal experience of love and an internal experience of oneness, a yes to me, a yes to life, a yes to the fulfillment of my desires. That's kind of a long journey at times, isn't it? There are times when it's just the indoctrination into the God of fear is pretty strong. But the movement away from it is so empowering and so freeing. And you guys, I mean, I'm preaching to the choir on this one. I understand that. But we as the yes to this kind of an expansion, have to keep ourselves at the forefront of it. So there's 3 things required for prayer to really make it effective. And by the way, over the next 5 weeks, we have a workshop after our gathering. So I hope you can, if not stay today, come back in the month and stay. We need commitment, we need conviction, and we need courage to develop a prayer life. We need commitment because it's a practice. It's like the analogy I use often. You can't go, I went to the gym last month and nothing's changing. I don't get it. That's how people treat prayer sometimes. When it becomes a way of life, a practice, it moves into a way of life. And that takes an energy of commitment. We also need some conviction. We need some conviction that's going to move us from the old beliefs of separation and from the fear into the flow. And that takes some real conviction. It takes a faith in something that you don't quite know is true in your experience yet. But as your conviction grows, not only does your faith in prayer grow, but the ability for prayer to reach its fulfillment grows through your conviction. And then the last one is courage. We need courage for this kind of prayer. And it's probably the most important, see, because what's going to happen to you is prayer, you're going to be seduced into it. I'm giving away the secret here. You're going to be seduced into thinking that things can change, that the disease will go away, that the money problem will disappear, that the relationship will get better. And all of these things become high probabilities from prayer. But the real change and the only change is you. So prayer changes you. That's really all the prayer is for. The prayer is for your mind. And that exists inside the principle of oneness. If we are indeed one in the mind of God, not in this form, obviously, there's an appearance of separation here. So we must lift our eyes off of form and go up into the consciousness of oneness. And if we are one in the mind of God, my thought about you, if it is a higher vibration of love, can have a positive impact on your thought about you, which is a lower vibration of fear temporarily. This is why praying together and for each other can become very powerful. Your prayer, because it's easy for me to know the wholeness of Julie sometimes more than it is for Julie, because Julie's in Julie. And she's listening to Julie's mind all day long. And she's listening to her stories, and she's got her history and her experience that the mind is referencing. I don't have any of that. So when she tells me a story, I have the ability to go to the higher truth for her. Now, I'm the first recipient of that gift because who goes to the higher truth? Me. So already my energy is being lifted up. And then as I think about Julie in that higher vibration, it becomes a shared experience. This is how we can lift each other up. This is how prayer really can make a change. I like to think of prayer as a carving tool. And what I mean by that is quantum physics teaches, and this is about as far as I can get with quantum physics, the particle and the wave, which is like 101. And that's as far as I can go. So there's a wave of consciousness. And quantum physics teaches that in order for the wave to become a particle, a form, it needs an observer. It needs someone to place their attention upon it. It's like wave, and then it goes, you go, car, it goes, whoop, car. It becomes whatever you put your attention upon. That's why it's an infinite, unlimited power. It just says yes. So you, when you're using prayer, can consciously take that wave and carve it into a new experience. This is why prayer is so amazing. It changes you. And so if you come from 100 generations of a family lineage that believes that they're unworthy and no good, that's a pretty strong wave. That can be transformed by your mind and your intention, no matter how strong of a gravitational pull false beliefs have. Prayer can lift you into a higher thought, which will, over time, with commitment and conviction, will begin to change your mind about it and your experience within it. It carves out what you desire. Prayer also matures us spiritually. And the main reason for that is it moves us from seeing the problem out there in the world to healing the problem in your mind. That requires spiritual maturity. When you're ready to stop waiting for the world to change, when you're ready to realize that the world is appearing how you're thinking about it, pooh, that is a big idea. People don't get that. That's a hard concept because that guy really does look like an a-hole, right? I mean, that's obvious. We all agree that that person is the problem, do we not? And yet, prayer says, grow up. Grow up. You're not going to get there. You're not going to get there through blame and external attention. It makes us grow spiritually. And what a phenomenal gift. What a phenomenal gift. Corinthians says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, a person, a woman, I put away childish things. And this is a good way to think about prayer. As a childish consciousness, prayer is, wanting your toys, wanting things to change, wanting life to go the way you think it should. But then as we put away those childish ways, those childish toys, we become available to a whole new higher idea of how this can work in us. Prayer purifies. Prayer heals your mind. You are one with God. And I'm going to talk more about that next week. From that truth, you move into the mind. And in the mind, the collective mind, the shared mind, is every thought that's ever been thought. All the fears and all the false beliefs. Now, you don't vibrate with all of those. You'd blow up if you did. But you vibrate with a handful of them. Each of us has a unique connection to all the fears and thoughts and beliefs. I have my low pocket, you have yours. We all have overlays and overlaps, but I have my individual experience of it. Prayer literally purifies the mind of those fears and those false beliefs so that over time, imagine it's the analogy of if you've got a bucket of water that's really dirty and that represents a mind with a bunch of negative thoughts and fears, you pour 1 cup of pure water in there, it's not going to do much. But if you keep pouring pure water into there, prayer, eventually it will become lighter and lighter and lighter. And eventually that water could become totally clear. That represents a clear mind. When you have a clear mind free of no fear, You have a positive thought of love, and boom, manifestation, there's no time. It's done immediately. So it's a powerful practice. Prayer, according to A Course in Miracles, is the medium for miracles. It is the channel through which we line up and we allow. I just think of like prayer of like, I don't know, it's like a tube. And it opens up and at the top and it just says miracles just pour in to it. And prayer makes you, now let me say that better. You're surrounded by your miracles always. So let's say that you're walking, literally, you're walking in 1,000 miracles that are yours for the taking, but your current mental state can't align with it to accept it. So prayer will lift you up so that you become more of a vibrational match for the miracles that you're seeking or desiring. So it kind of helps the miracle come into play by lifting us up. Affirmative prayer is the activation of your thoughts, words, combined with imagination in the direction of something positive, good, true, wonderful, and worthy. So the activation of your thoughts and your words combined with your imagination. And this is where I think it's one of the greatest gifts, because as we become older, our imagination loses its ability to dream big. I mean, there comes a point when we all have to be practical, right? This practicality, which in one sense is important, also, when it overtakes us, causes us to lose the power of the imagination or dim down. The imagination becomes something that is for the youth. And that is absolutely a disservice to us all. Because wherever we are in life, at any age and any stage, prayer is what can heal us, can extend. Prayer can bring us into the joy of being, which is ageless and is timeless. And we've got to be receptive for that. We've got to be willing to let our imaginations, I'm getting the image in my head of, the old lawnmower where you've got the pull cord. Funny that that's old now, but that we just have the click on kind. But, when you're cranking it, if you haven't done it in a while, it takes some effort to prime the pump and to get the lawnmower going. Same way for the imagination. Sometimes we got to just prime that pump and remember that you have the most powerful tool in the universe to cause a new experience. It is your imagination. And the way that we teach prayer, the way that the Science of Mind 5-step prayer is, right in the center of it is the activation of the imagination in such a clear, specific way. I'm super excited to teach on that one because it is a game changer. It is a game changer. So this is what affirmative prayer is. I moved through 3 forms of prayer in my life. I have come to appreciate 3 forms of prayer. One is asking. Ask and it is given. Ask and ye shall receive. Asking is a beautiful expression of openness. When you ask, you're saying to the universe, I'm willing to receive. Asking turns the key, turns the lock, however you think about it. It puts the key and turns it. So that you can open beyond your current understanding. Your asking represents your willingness, represents your faith. And the Bible says all we need is the faith of a mustard seed. Well, a mustard seed is so darn tiny, it's like so tiny. That's pretty amazing, y'all. The universe isn't asking for a lot. Just a little bit of willingness will crack us open. And asking is a demonstration of our willingness. Now, some people don't like that idea because they move into old unhealed parts of like having to ask their parents for something or that they have to be a certain way in order to get their request fulfilled. So asking itself needs a little bit of cleaning off in order to really understand how empowering it can be. We'll be doing that over the month. The other form of prayer I call commanding prayer. when you command the law, when you say to the universe, to the law, this is what must be done, and this is what is true. It's when you get into the conviction of your being and you refuse by the power of your word and the energy that I'm even showing you a glimpse of now. This is what is so, and this is what is so. And I deny that this has any power over me. It puts you into that driver's seat of, and you use that fire, you activate it. Use a little bit of that, mix in some anger and rage in there and steer it in the right direction to declare and command what is true. That is a very enlivening way to pray, and that's new for a lot of people. It's new for a lot of people. It's new for you. And the reason I asked if you're all Catholic, if I may, for a moment, as I watched you all sing the first song, you just look so somber. You just weren't going to move a muscle of your body. You just become like this. And what were the words of the song? I'm a powerful, creative, spiritual being. Well, tell your face. That and the reason I say that, and it's just true, you guys. I just sit in the middle of the pocket. This is the little white Midwestern world we're raised in, where it's just supposed to be real boxed up. But this in your box is not where you discover new. It's by busting the box open and discovering what's beyond your comfort zone, even a little bit. This is like the prayer that is of conviction and commandment requires you to stretch into your power center and to use it and to let it move you and use you. It's really, really feels good. It feels good when you're willing to give yourself to that kind. So there's asking, which is that opening. Help is a beautiful prayer, is it not? That's an asking. Help is an asking. And commanding is a way of asking, but it's got a conviction and certainty inside of it. That requires a little more nuance and a little more practice, because we've got to always make sure that we're coming from the alignment of oneness and perfect love. Because as we're moving into commandment, I don't ever want someone to move into trying to move the deck chairs on the Titanic for a better view. You know? So we've got to have a real alignment for that one. And then the third form of prayer that I use that I don't see taught enough personally is surrender. The surrender prayer, which takes us to the heart of faith. And these are the times that we all hit, when no matter what you want, no matter how afraid your human mind feels, a change is a-coming. Someone's going. Something's happening that is just larger than your individual mind. And this is when we just have to, thy will be done. Thy will be done. It is the most beautiful prayer, and it is actually the prayer that supersedes them all. If you wanted to just go, look, just give me one, and I'm just going to work it, I'd say do the surrender prayer. Thy will be done. Thy will and only thy will. I'm not here to make life happen. I'm here to let life, and I trust life. That is the faith move that really puts you out of the driver's seat, but it puts you into the flow. It's in that use me spirit, consciousness, where you're like, I don't care where I go. I know it's going to be good because you're taking me. It's that idea. And again, when life makes you feel like you're hitting a brick wall, and when we do that, that is the time to surrender. But when you're in prayer, it's different. It's different. I know I said this a few weeks ago, I think, but I'm going to say it again because I just love it so much. When Byron Katie was asked, what is the difference between an enlightened mind and an unenlightened mind? She told the story of, well, an unenlightened mind is sitting on the curb, watching their house burn, going, oh my God, this is so horrible. I'm losing everything. Oh, this is so horrible. All my pictures, all my money, all my blood, just absolutely traumatized. That's the unenlightened mind. And then she said the enlightened mind is watching the house burn and go, wow, that fire is gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? That's really real faith. We laugh at that, but that's inspiring to me. I want to be in that kind of surrender where obviously I wasn't supposed to have that house tomorrow. Okay, what's next? What's next, God? Like, that's a beautiful way to move through the world. Prayer will free you from needing to control. But simultaneously, there's a paradox because prayer will put you in control in a new way. But it's not like manipulating, again, the things of the world. It's managing the thoughts in the mind and learning how to become a master there. And again, that's where prayer takes place. All right, so that is the journey. Oh, the last thing I want to bring up. Prayer is for the one who's praying. I said that earlier, but I want to emphasize that. Prayer, if someone is sitting before me with a diagnosis of whatever, and they ask me to pray for them, I will gladly pray. And when I'm praying, my prayer is not focused on them changing. My prayer is focused on my mind changing about them. That my mind, I must whoop my mind up into a state of consciousness where I remember they're one with God, they're whole, they're perfect and complete. I must use my mind, or the opportunity to use my mind in that moment to see them as holy, holy, holy. And that's all that they are. And this dis-ease has no power over this truth. Remember, one mind. And if I can, with enough conviction and certainty, see them in their wholeness and their joy and their oneness with God, with no dis-ease, no discomfort, no dissatisfaction, with all of that gone, just seeing them in my mind's eye and holding them only there, this becomes a blessing. And this is how prayer works, because my mind is changed, and they very well will receive. They will receive the gift of what I am able to access about them, the same way that I would receive the gift of what they could access about me. But you walk away with the changed mind. And that's really cool. That's really cool. All right, let's put this into some prayer. Take a breath. And I'm going to move through the 5 steps, and I'm going to call them out because you're going to get to know them over the next month. And you're actually going to be able to hear the formula. There's been a formula the whole time. Every time I pray, there's a formula, but you don't hear it. Now you're going to start picking it out, and that's fun to me. So, first step, God is. God is infinite. God is love. God is all that there is. God is grace and power and beauty. God is life. God is. The second step is unification. I unify with God. As God is life, I am life. As God is love, I am love. As God is perfect and free and forever expanding, I am perfect and free and forever expanding. Because all that God is, I am, because God made me in its image and its likeness completely. God left nothing out. God gave it all. So God is and I am. The third step is realization. From my place of oneness with God, knowing this is true for all of us, I call forth and claim that this prayer theme and this upcoming month of focusing on this empowering spiritual tool has come to us by divine appointment. And I bless each one of us and those of us who have a yes on our hearts to take this journey together, knowing that it will ripple out from every one of us far and wide. I know that we are guided to this very moment. And in this moment, I affirm that our minds and our hearts are open for a deeper dive into the understanding, the application, the art, and the science of prayer. Welcome it. The fourth step is gratitude. And I'm thankful for the fulfillment of this word. I'm thankful for a loving universe that says yes to this prayer and this intention. And the fifth step is release. So I release this prayer now into the action of the law. That action of the law that only does say yes. I let go, I let it be. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Thank you. All right, so now is our opportunity to share your gifts with Unity on the Lakeshore, this beautiful, wonderful community. As you take your gifts into your hand, we invite the ushers and greeters to grab the baskets. And together, and by the way, thank you, those who are streaming in. Please make sure to make a contribution before you check out. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am thankful. Yes, we are so thankful for your gifts. Thank you. And as the basket goes around, Julie will come up and share with you some other ways that you can make a contribution if you do not have cash on you.
Boy, I'm glad I took notes on that. So we have an option to give through text, which is pretty easy. You just send the word give to 616-236-5205. And if it's your first time giving this way, you'll receive a link with the instructions. If you've given before through text, then you can simply text a dollar amount to this number. You can also give online through our website at unityonthelakeshore.org/donations. For those watching online, the link is in the chat. You can also just mail a check into Unity on the Lakeshore, P.O. Box 848, Douglas, Michigan, 49406. And we'll now have another song by Brian.
Grateful I am grateful, I am grateful. Grateful I am grateful, I am grateful. My gift to you is gratitude. Oh, yes, I'm grateful. Oh, yes, I'm grateful. Grateful I am grateful, I am grateful. Grateful I am grateful, I am grateful. My gift to you is gratitude. Oh, yes, I'm grateful. Oh, yes, I'm grateful. So grateful, grateful. Yes, I'm grateful. Oh, yes, I'm grateful.
I should get points for all the steps I'm making today. Yeah, I'm up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, so Reverend Mark is leading a meditation and book study on A Course in Miracles on Wednesday evenings. It's a new time and it's wonderful. It's really a really neat group. It's from 5:30, like 5:30 to 5:45. There's just a little introductory, and then for an hour we just read and discuss and kind of pull apart the Course in Miracles because it's a little bit of a difficult text, but Mark does a wonderful job helping us all really grasp it. So if you have a chance to come, it's really worth it. And then Barb Corcoran is leading a book study on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock, April 18th through May 16th. The book is Finding Yourself in Transition, Using Life's Changes for Spiritual Awakening by Robert Brubet or Brubet. I don't know how you say it. Brubet? Brubet. Brubette, whatever. And for the month of May, you'll see a box by the front door. We're collecting cereal for the food pantry, which is Ladders of Hope. And so please feel free to drop that off. If you haven't liked our Facebook page, please do so. This way you can share about all the great things going on here. You can find us at unityfacebook.com. I guess it's facebook.com/Unity Lakeshore. And I know there's some first time guests. We just want to say welcome we're just so glad to have you here. And we really do mean that. We're just really glad that you joined us. And you'll find the people in this church really walk the talk. They really do. I've been to a lot of churches in my life, and we do have some little pamphlets that Mark's going to pass out. So if you want to just raise your hand, and Mark will give you a little pamphlet, and you can read a little bit more about Unity. Are there any announcements from anybody from the community? Anything at all that anybody wants to say? Okay, if you'd like to make any suggestion or have any questions, there's a box in the back of the church that you can put in there, and we'll try to get you an answer. And now it's time for our closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth, and Free Fill to Stand, if you'd like to. Glad you're here.
Before we sing, we haven't done this in a while, but I feel inspired. Let's give some love to Sandy, who works here and serves us so much. The food's set up, the room is always prepared. She does so much for us so that we can have this experience. So please take a moment and give her some love.
I second that emotion.
And she does it almost with no complaining.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be a moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yay. Hey, I forgot to tell you afterwards, did we mention the study group of the prayer? So at 11:15, 11:20 here, let's go deeper in prayer. I want to help you every Sunday starting today. So grab some food, meet some people. We'll circle up here. Thank you.